Hey, what's up, YouTube? I know it's been a while, but I had to handle some issues I was having. I did get a little suspension for a while again, because people be hating. But what can I say? When people's hating on you, it's because you're doing something right and they want to see you go down. But Floyd Mayweather once again showed that it takes more than just throwing punches. Y'all hear my phone and Facebook going off and stuff, people hitting me up talking about the fight and stuff. But yeah, people for reals know how to hate. But first, let's look at the fight. Mayweather showed that he's versatile. He stood toe to toe with Mosley, Ortiz, and Cotto basically, and was standing in the pocket fighting him. And people said his legs are gone. And now you see against Guerrero, he wasn't doing that. He was moving around the ring. He made Guerrero look slow as hell. And people's talking about Floyd was running. But how do you run if your legs are gone? Better yet, how does one dude end up with a busted, bloody face if the dude's running? If his opponent's running, how he end up with a busted, bloody face? Same thing when Guillermo Rigondeaux whooped up on Daenerys. They said Rigondeaux was running. How Daenerys' eye end up like that then? Why the whole entire last round, Daenerys had his hand over his eye? Over his eye. Like a scared kid that just got smacked upside the head. Smacked upside the head. And he like, dang, that hurt. And he just like he holding an ice pack to it. That's what it looked like. Come on. Talking about running? It wasn't running. Running is what made Roberto Duran say no mas against Ray Leonard. That's what running was. Running was what Amir Khan was doing last week after he got knocked down again. That's running. That Guerrero dad was in there talking about Floyd throw patty cake punches. Well, it must have been patty caking pretty hard for Guerrero to end up looking like that. That's all I gotta say. I mean, Floyd showed that he got this ability to handle any style you throw at him. Guerrero was trying to be dirty. He was trying to hold and hit, which is against the rules. That people be complaining that the ref don't let them fight their fight. Why should the ref let somebody fight in a way that's against the rules? People don't be complaining about that. When he did it against Berto, people was wanting him to do that to Floyd. It wasn't happening. People complaining about the ref separating them. You seen the ref look hard at Guerrero whenever he was talking to him at the beginning of the fight. So remember, gentlemen, I want a clean, competitive fight. And he was staring Guerrero straight in the eye when he said that too. If y'all didn't notice that, he was looking hard at Guerrero. On that first time he had to broke them up, he grabbed Guerrero by the back of the neck and pulled him apart. And then there's people complaining that when Guerrero would try to do that, Floyd would wrap up both of Guerrero's arms and hold them so the ref would break them up and Guerrero wouldn't be able to do that. I'm like, why y'all complaining about that? Bernard Hopkins did that to Tavoris Cloud, was tying them up and keeping Tavoris Cloud from hitting like that. People was talking about, yeah, Bernard Hopkins, he's great. That's great technical ability. That's great ring control. That's great technique. That's a veteran move. People complain when Andre Ward and Floyd do it because they're undefeated and still at the top and dominating people. What's with the double standard? What's with the double standard? Why people be hating? People's talking about, oh, he's a woman beater, this and that. Ray Leonard was on drugs. Ray Robinson beat his wife. Mike Tyson beat his wife. These are people who all had issues in their personal lives. Manny Pacquiao, he was cheating on his wife had gambling problems, drinking problems, and they was talking about he was housing a fugitive, you know, all this stuff, though nobody say nothing about that. And people always talk about how Manny Pacquiao is a man of God and stuff. Guerrero's talking about how he's a man of God too. You know, but you know, Floyd, he don't gotta say it, but you should be able to tell. You know, he always thank God for his victories, and what he said was real. What he said was very real. He said God does not pick and choose fights. This is pick and choose sides. This is something about boxing. Don't bring religion into it. And he's right. Well, when it comes down to something like that, you know, God is not going to pick sides. Because with God, we is all equal under God's eyes, you know. So that's something that shouldn't have even been brought into the fight. That's something that shouldn't have even been brought into the promotions, the hype, and none of that. It should have just been left out. But looking at the fight, you know, this is going to be one of those things, like Floyd said before. It's always lose for him. Because like I was saying earlier, against Mosley, Ortiz, and Cotto, he was standing right in front of him. People said his legs are gone. Now he showed he can still move. People said he was running and the fight was boring. You know why? Because they want to see him get hurt. That's it. That's the only reason that Sergio Martinez and Canelo Alvarez, even though they're not special, that's the only reason that their names are remaining relevant. Because those are the two guys who was at the top of their weight classes. Then people's talking about they could make the weight to come down to fight Mayweather. If it weren't for that, nobody would be talking about them as much as they do. Yeah, they would still be popular, but nobody would be giving them the type of hype that they're getting. If Sergio Martinez and Canelo Alvarez fought, Alvarez beats Martinez easy. Because Alvarez cut off the ring better than Martin Murray do, and Alvarez would throw more punches than Martin Murray did. Also, Alvarez do got a better defense than Martin Murray. Alvarez, along with Andre Ward and Floyd Mayweather, is one of the top 3 defensive fighters in boxing right now. Andre Ward, Floyd Mayweather, and Canelo Alvarez are the 3 fighters at the top of the plus-minus ratio list. They're the ones who land the highest percentage of their punches while having their opponents land the lowest percentage against them. Those are the 3 top fighters. So yeah, like me personally, you know, I still think Canelo has a lot to prove. And yeah, I'm not his biggest fan, but he is good though. Canelo Alvarez is good. But here's the thing, that's not why they're talking about him fighting Floyd, because he's good. And even then, you know, he doesn't have the technical ability Mayweather has. You know, he swings too wide and he leans in too far with his punches, which is just basically like saying, you know, here Floyd, here's your invitation to counter city, where you can counter all night long. Because wide looping shots like that, Floyd will counter, as you were seeing he was doing to Guerrero, and lean out the way of him. And Guerrero is good at cutting out the ring, but the problem is he don't know how to capitalize on it. Canelo does to an extent, but you know, Canelo can't fight going backwards. I mean, he got the head movement, and he can block a little bit. He doesn't swing and throw punches going backwards from what I've seen of him. Anytime he was driven back, he wasn't able to fight off the back foot. He has to plant his feet or come forwards for him to be throwing punches. Robert Guerrero, he might have been able to make adjustments against other fighters, but he could not against Floyd. He might have been averaging 70 punches a round against other fighters. He didn't against Floyd. You know, I'm actually watching the fight again right now. I gotta go to the end of the fight. Scroll to the end right quick. Look at the punch stats. see if they see what they got for the punch stats right quick. Because that was, I know Floyd landed 41% of his punches. Guerrero landed 19%. Floyd landed 19% of his jabs. And Guerrero, he still has it in his head that, he said that he was doing something. He said Floyd was barely slipping punches. I'm like, there's a lot more than barely. Oh yeah, here's the punch stats. Floyd landed 42 out of 222 jabs for 19%. Guerrero landed 32 out of 291 for 11%. Floyd landed 60% of his power shots, 153 of those to Guerrero, who landed 28%, which was 81 power punches. So here's the thing. Guerrero threw 105 more punches than Floyd did. And Floyd landed, 82 more punches than Guerrero did. So that says something about skill. Whenever you throw 100 punches less than the person you beat and land almost 100 more than they did, you can't say that's not skill. You can't say that's not greatness in the ring. This is after Floyd been off for a year and been locked up. He stays at his fight weight, so he didn't have to worry about losing weight. He just got to go to the training camp, and any extra weight that he needed to use was burned off just from being in training camp. He didn't have to focus specifically on cutting weight like Guerrero did, who was above 160 before training camp started. Which is also another reason I'm saying they should bring back fight day weigh-ins. That way it weeds out the bums from the people who got the hard work and dedication to stay in shape and stay at the fight weight. That way when we see two junior middleweights fight, we actually seen two junior middleweights fight, because Canelo Alvarez and Trout, that's supposed to be a unification bout for the junior middleweight title, and they both walked into the ring as light heavyweights, above 170 pounds. Light heavyweights 168 to 175. Why is light? That's like Roy Jones fighting a junior middleweight. Well, what reason does a light heavyweight dude have fighting for a junior middleweight title? Like, what is this? And y'all people is okay with it because y'all's hating. Sergio Martinez came in at 169 against Chavez Jr. Walked into the ring, according to his manager's son. His manager's son knew the unofficial weight. He was like, yeah, Martinez was like 169, 170. That's within the light heavyweight limit. And that's the only reason that people is talking about Canelo and Martinez fighting Floyd, because they are bigger than him and they're at the top of their division. And even though Floyd's already been through 5 weight classes and can't even make the full weight for that 5th weight class he's in, the 154 pound class, people's talking about he should fight guys who's coming into the ring 3 weight classes above that. That's just hating. Y'all gotta respect the man for what he does in the ring. There's a man who can stand there and make you miss and hit you. People's talking about he's running. People's talking about the fight's boring. The fight is, how the fight boring when you seeing what boxing is supposed to be? It's hit and not get hit. It's float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. It's a thinking man's game. And for those of y'all who don't know that, or y'all looking for a dirty fight, go watch some MMA. I mean, I only watch MMA because of Ronda Rousey right now, for reals. I don't really be watching fights like that no more. But like I said, if you complain about it, it means one thing. Like Roger Mayweather would say, you don't know shit about boxing.